The Haunting of Annabelle. On September 7, 1915, John Gobel, a toy designer, received a patent for what would soon become one of the most beloved toys in the 20th century. Years earlier, he had received a plain faced doll as a gift from his daughter. After examining the doll, John decided it was missing something. He then carefully added two eyes and a nose. But little did he know, this chain would lead to the creation of Raggedy Ann, a figure adored by children. However, 45 years later, a second-hand Raggedy Ann doll purchased from an antique store would become the center of one of the most infamous ghost stories ever told. The beginning of horror. Deidre Bernard, a 25-year-old nursing student, was puzzled when she unwrapped her birthday present from her mother, an old Raggedy Ann doll not particularly fond of dolls and about to graduate. The reason behind the gift remained a mystery. Her mother had said that it was simply a decoration. Perhaps something about this doll had drawn her mother towards it. The doll found its place in Deidre's shared apartment, where she lived with her roommate, Lara Clifton. Deidre kept the doll on her bed, neatly arranging it every morning. However, after a few weeks, strange phenomena started to occur. Deidre would return home to find the doll in different positions. Sometimes its ankles would be crossed, other times its arms folded. Assuming Lara or her fiancé Cal were playing tricks on her, Deidre decided to confront them, but both denied having touched the doll. Then one day when the girls came back home, they find the doll kneeling on the floor, a position which would be impossible for the doll to hold on its own. Terrified, the roommates began discovering unsettling notes scrawled in childlike handwriting, saying "help us" and "help Cal," written to papers which they did not own. And they one day found the doll lying on Deidre's bed, with what appeared to be blood on its hands and chest. Panicking, they turned to a medium for help, the spirit of Annabelle. During the seance, the medium revealed that the spirit of a young girl named Annabelle Higgins had been contacting them. Annabelle, who had died in the area when she was just 7 years old, wanted companionship and sought permission to move into the Raggedy Ann world. The girls, feeling pity, agreed. This would be their undoing. As time passed, Deidre and Laura began treating Annabelle like talking to her, buying her jewelry. They made Annabelle feel at home. But Laura's fiancé, Cal, was never comfortable around the doll. He would see nightmares when Annabelle would climb up to his face and strangle him. And then one day, Cal was physically attacked in his sleep when he described an invisible force which he was not able to see. That attack left him 7 scars on his chest. This horrifying incident was enough to convince them that they needed help beyond what a medium could provide. They then contacted a priest who then invited 2 famous paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Warrens' investigation. Ed and Lorraine were well-known demonologists, believed that it was something possessing the doll was not some harmless child spirit, but something much more darker, something inhumane, a demonic entity. Ed believed that this entity had tricked the girls into giving it the permission to inhabit the doll, thus giving it powers to act within their world. The Warrens, with the help of the priest, performed an exorcism on the apartment. Lorraine, who could sense spirits, felt the dark presence lift after exorcism, but the girls were still too frightened to keep the doll, and asked the Warrens to take the doll with them. They all thought it was finally over, but it was just the beginning of the Annabelle tales. The Curse of Annabelle. On the drive back to their home, Lorraine sensed a vicious hatred aura emitting from the doll. The car brakes failed multiple times, causing accidents. Ed stopped the car and dipped the doll in holy water. They made it home safely, but even then strange events occurred. A 3-foot Raggedy Ann doll would appear in different rooms, despite locked doors. Loud growling noises will fill their houses. The priest who had mocked the doll faced terrible car accidents after visiting the Warrens. But the most chilling of all was the experience of a young couple who visited the Warrens' occult museum, where Annabelle was housed in a glass case. The young man, trying to impress his girlfriend, banged on the case and challenged it to harm him. On their way back, they had an accident. The man died instantly and the girl was left unscratched. Though Ed and Lorraine Warren had sealed Annabelle in a case marked with the warning, the doll remained a symbol of dark power, a haunting reminder of the unknown. And with this, I take your leave. Come back again at this nocturnal hour for another horrifying, mysterious tale.